Hey FlossTube, it's Leslie with Fat Cat Flossing, back to talk to you about stitching today. First of all, if you're new to my channel, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate y'all. If you're returning back again, I appreciate you even more because that means you know what you're getting into. And you guys, I'm going to talk a little bit more in a little while about kindness in general, but thank y'all so much for the thumbs up and the super kind comments, and they just mean the world to me. They really do. I don't have anybody else to talk to about stitching. I'm the only one in my family that stitches. My mother-in-law sews, but she wants something to do with handwork. But this is my opportunity to chat about stitching. I feel like y'all are right here with me. Lord knows I talk back to you when y'all are talking about your stitching. So thank you for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your comments. You guys rock. Y'all are awesome. But anyways, I have a whole lot of news to chat about today. Everything's rocking along pretty steady in my little world, which is a good thing. I'm okay with this. Like I said before, I'm a homebody, and I kind of just like to hang out with my stitching and, you know, my books and my animals, and it's not fancy or exciting in my house, and I actually like it that way. But anyway, I did want to spend just a moment, like I said, on the topic of kindness, because there's not enough of it in the world. But some of the kindest people in generally are here on FlossTube. And you guys, those comments are awesome. They really are. They're just, you know, they make my day. Everyone I read, I try to answer everyone on, you know, answer the comments on the videos. And if I manage to skip you, it's not that I didn't care. It's that I had another brain spell. But thank you for your comments. I really, really enjoy them. I hope I get to reply to each and every one of y'all. I appreciate them so much. There was a big hoop-de-doo at the beginning of this week on Stitch Mania, and I, like a lot of you guys, belong to the Facebook group Stitch Mania. And I do so mainly to have a forum to, like I said, share my stitching. And I love seeing what everybody else is working on. What I like less, to steal Teresa's phrase, what's not my favorite, is some of the backbiting and, frankly, the bitching that goes on. And I'll just give a warning right here now. I don't plan to drop any F-bombs today, but they have been known to slip out without me noticing. So I can be X-rated at times, but I am trying to be better about that. But that was one of the topics of the whole hoop-de-doo on Stitch Mania was, you know, the owners of the group have clearly stated that adult content is allowed of whatever variety, whether it's language or explicit stitching. And, you know, I've shared before that my philosophy on things is, if you ain't got something nice to say, shut up. Which in Facebook terms equates to scroll on by. But apparently that is constitutionally impossible for a lot of folks. I think that they have resolved it a lot now, and I'm hoping that that zero tolerance policy continues, because really, I don't think there needs to be much tolerance for being ugly to people. If it's not your cup of tea, don't watch it, don't look at it, and don't get your panties in a twist about it. Just scroll on by. Move on to the next FlossTuber, whatever the case is. Say the kind things. Let the other stuff go. If y'all don't watch her already, Christine with Stitch All the Things had a beautiful allegorical comment on that whole hoop-de-doo. And I think it bears watching, not just because of Stitch Mania, but because how it speaks to just be nice, folks. Just be nice. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about stitching, not stitching controversy. So I've got some whips to show. First one I'm going to talk about is Henry O'Hare by Lizzie Kate. And y'all have seen Henry many, many times. I've been working on Henry since around the first of the year. And the end is in sight. I've got a little bit on his head up here. And then his sleeves of his shirt to fill in, and then the back stitch. But when I get done with this, as soon as I plug it into upload, I'm working on Henry like he's my job, because I'm going to finish this guy today or tomorrow. Because I have promised to send the chart on to Stephanie of Pam and Steph. So it's coming, Steph. Now, full disclosure, I'm keeping the goodies to finish mine. You're on your own for those. But the chart is out of print. I don't feel like I am doing any disservice to the designer by sharing the chart with somebody, by passing the stash, because it's out of print. You can't buy it anyway. I mean, maybe I'm, you know, saving some anonymous eBay seller from getting a purchase of whatever they put up to sell, but I'm not sweating that one. So it's coming, Stephanie. Should go out tomorrow or Monday, whenever I get to the post office, because I got other stuff I got to get to the post office too. That's one of those chores I hate, y'all. I hate the post office, and I shouldn't, because here in little old bitty Mulberry, there's rarely anybody in front of you in line, and if there is, it's only one person. So it's not a big hoop-de-doo, and it literally takes me 2 minutes to get in my car and drive there. And that 2 minutes is only because I have to stop and look both ways before I cross the highway. Without that, it'd probably be a minute and a half. But anyway, stuff's going out in the mail tomorrow or Monday at the latest. So there's Henry. Y'all excuse me while I tuck stuff back away, because I'll forget what bag it goes in and be confused as to where my threads are. And yeah, you know how that goes. The next one I'm working on is Happy Heart from Shepherd's Bush. And I have a Shepherd's Bush stack to show you in a little while, or to tease you with anyway. But anyway, I've gotten very little additional. I've only put a couple more stitches in Happy Heart since you saw it last time. Because I've been working on Henry. Why do I yawn when I start this? I don't know. I don't know why. So maybe I sit slumpy, don't oxygenate well. Who knows? Anyway, there's Happy Heart by Shepherd's Bush. It's probably going to get some love when Henry's done. I spent most of my stitching time, probably last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, went into this one. I love this one so much, y'all. This is another Shepherd's Bush. This is Oh Beautiful. And it has the words to America the Beautiful on it. And what I have been working on is this scene right here in the middle of this little pastoral scene. And I'm almost done with that part. I need to fill in the sheep hill here and then do a little bit of back stitch, add the, give the sheep some legs, kind of, and the trees some trunks, kind of things. But other than that, that part is done, and then I'm going to start on some specialty stitches. And I haven't done a specialty stitch one in 15 years. So I will be perusing the instructions carefully. Very, very carefully. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. It's sunny outside. My dogs are playing, so y'all excuse any barking you hear in the background. It's the first time in a week that they've been able to be out in pretty weather, because I think we've gotten somewhere in the neighborhood of 14 inches-ish over the last probably 10 days, and my house looks like somebody backed a backhoe up to the back door and shoveled in the mud. But there's really not a whole lot of point in doing much with it until it dries up some, because every time they go out, they just track it back in. Anyway, my next one is another Lizzie Kate. This is Summer Smalls, and I'm working on Summer. And it got a little bit of love since the last time you saw it. I've got the U in Summer filled in and about half of the S. And this one goes real quick. It's on, I think, it's a 28 count even weave. This is some more stuff I pulled out of my stash, and I haven't really counted it to be sure, but it's either a 25 or 28 count even weave, and it goes real quick. So I'm liking that one. Maybe I'll actually have another small done for Summer. Who'd have thunk? And then I'm not going to show this chart long. Y'all have seen it. It's Blackberry House. I've been working on this for a long time. Well, I say a long time. Thanksgiving-ish, maybe? Somewhere around in there. No. later than that, because I think this was part of my Christmas haul, so right before Christmas. And I've made pretty good progress. That planter there, the gray, is the largest motif on the pattern, and I am probably 2/3 done with it. I've been stitching it during my Stitch With Me videos because, you know, as I've said before, I can't walk and chew gum, and I can't talk and count. So I have to stitch something where I can just stitch and not worry about where I'm stitching. So I made real good progress on that during the last couple of Stitch With Me's, and then a little additional time. So it's coming along. When I get done with that planner, I'm going to have to make a plan about what else I can stitch on during those. And then if you're in the Friday off the grid group, which I just love that group. Nicest people, I think, in cross stitch are in that group. Caroline has done a superlative job of making sure that it is the softer, gentler side of cross stitch. And that's the way it ought to be. So anyway, this was a new start for me. I think it was Sunday night. But this is In Friendship's Way from Blackbird Designs. And I'm doing this pattern up here. Now, this was designed as a birth announcement, birth congratulatory piece, whatever. And it says, it's titled, Welcome, Dear August. And it was, I think, done for the niece, or I guess the nephew of the designer. So I haven't decided if I'm just going to take out the August and put my initials up there, or if I'm going to put our last name up there, or I haven't decided about that. But that's what I'm doing. And then when I saw it in the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, they had finished it like this onto this box, and I understand that this box is available at Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to do my best to lay my hands on that and some paint and try to do the finish similar to this. I'm going to have to go looking for the little mini pom-poms, which I think are available from Dames of the Needle, maybe. I'll be looking for that. I think that's who it is. Not positive, but I think. So, anyway. That's my most recent start. Oh, and this, there's actually the start there. So I've got the bird's chest and most of his wing done. This is my first foray into anything smaller than 32 count. This is 36 count. And while I need to use my good light, I used the magnifier some of the time and didn't use it some of the time, and it was okay. Now, I would not want to try to stitch on it in bad light. I don't think I would do real well with that. But it didn't make me crazy. I was okay with it. So I think that maybe for that other motif on there, the one that's the little planter thing, it's pretty small. And I think what I'm going to do is get a small, very small piece of 40 count and give that a try. I really, really like stitching with one thread versus two. I think the stitching looks much neater. Obviously, it's more economical because you're using half the thread, but mostly it's the way it looks, the nice, neat little stitches. And even on 32 count, I usually stitch with one thread. And I'm okay with, I think it gives it kind of a prim look when the coverage is not quite as good. I'm okay with the way that looks. But on 40 count, 36 and 40 count, the coverage is really good, at least for me. There are other folks that are much more detail-oriented about that than I am. But again, I'm a process stitcher. I like the process of doing it. And I think it's pretty when I'm done. And I don't sweat it. You know, I am almost 56 years old, and I am all about the don't sweat the small stuff at this point in my life. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. Because it's about the journey itself and not the destination, right? Although, you know, if the destination is beautiful cross stitch, that's good too. But anyway, I'm fixing to try me some 40 count the next time I can get down to Little Rock, which will probably be not this weekend because we have plans. Shortly after we moved up here in the end of 2016, we went to eat at this little, and it is a hole in the wall, y'all. It's in Chester, Arkansas, which can't have a population of 200 or 300 people, if that. I mean, there's literally nothing there except this restaurant. The restaurant has, however, it's a little diner type place. I mean, it's a little country cafe. It's called Chester Country Cafe. And I'll put a link to them. I think they have a Facebook page. And anyway, it is absolutely nothing fancy. It is a hole in the wall. But the food, oh my God, the food. It's like what you sit down at grandma's house to have. I mean, it's the stuff that I grew up eating. And I grew up in deep South Texas during the 60s and 70s. And this is the kind of stuff that was put on the table for dinner every night. And it is an all-you-can-eat buffet for like, I think $10 a person. The fried chicken is the best fried chicken I have ever had. Ever. And I loves me some fried chicken. But it is good old down-home cooking. It is wonderful. If you're ever passing through off I-49 through Northwest Arkansas, you need to detour to Chester and go to the Chester Country Cafe. It is awesome. But anyway, I digress. That was its own little rabbit hole I went down there. Anyway, we went there with my in-laws because my husband had this book that was the best places to go to eat, best things to do in Arkansas. And this little cafe actually had a mention in it. They were right. They were right. It was awesome. Anyway, we went there and we happened to meet a gentleman by the name of Royal Wade Kimes. Now, Wade is I would say country singer. I mean, his music definitely has a country flavor, but it is more traditional country, I guess, not the more poppy stuff that you would hear now. Although he has many songs that would be radio ready. But Wade marches to his own drummer. He's a great guy. I guess he's in his early 60s. Anyway, he's a super nice man. Just as genuine and kind and caring as anybody you'd ever want to meet. When he saw one time that I was fussing on Facebook about my knee hurting, he called me and said, hey, here's something that worked for me. I mean, just super nice guy, although, he is in his own genre of music, quite well known, quite well to do, super, super talented. If you look him up on iTunes, Royal Wade Kimes, he's got some great music there. But anyway, that's another rabbit hole. But we met Wade. He's a super nice guy. We're going to a concert that he's putting on up in Fayetteville this weekend. And I'm really looking forward to that. Although, you know me, the homebody, I'll fuss and bitch about having to leave, and then I'll get there and I'll have a great time. But if y'all have a chance, look him up. Great, great music. He writes, I think, almost everything he records. He is a gifted songwriter. If you find him on YouTube, he did almost like a little short. And I will tell you, it is about the Civil War, and it is actually a very pro-South point of view. But I mean, it's Arkansas. And, it's the South. If you can enjoy it for what it is, go and listen to the music. The music is fantastic. There's a song on there called Dixie Burns that just touches my heart. I love it. But, don't go watch it and call him nasty names, because he's a nice man. Nice man. He's just telling stories from that point of view. But anyway, super talented. Looking forward to his concert this weekend. I had said way back in some of my, maybe the first video I did, that we would go through some of my stash. Today's the day, folks. Today's the day. And I'm just going to tease you with this. There's my shepherd's bush stack. Now, we're not going to go through all of these today because we get to talk about nothing else. But I got a lot of shepherd's bush. And I stitched a boatload of shepherd's bush and gave a lot of it away. Those were about the only things I kept from my previous stitching life. But I had many more charts that, passed on their way a long time ago. But I've still got a metric poop ton left. Here's the rest of my charts. They're organized in there alphabetically by designer, and that's the way they are in my X-Stitch app, so it's easy for me to find them if I want. But we'll do shepherd's bush another day because there's too many of those. But we'll go through this stack. And I intentionally pulled out older stuff because I figured, you know, we've all seen the same things making the rounds. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love a lot of the newer stuff. But I figured this would just be something different for folks to see. And the first one I pulled out is My Stitching Treasures by Jeanette Douglas Designs. And I still have plans to do this. I bought this a long time ago. Let's see if I can find the copyright date. I think that would be 2004. So I've had this for a long time. I bought this at a shop in San Antonio, even when I wasn't stitching. I lied. I bought this in Spring, which is a northern suburb of Houston. It came from a place called 3 Stitches in Spring. And I have no idea if that place is still there, but I think I was up there visiting a good friend from high school and saw this. Said, oh, let's stop there. And found this in that shop and had to have it. Now, I had this box at some point. If I still have it, have no idea where it is. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know where it went. And it's a damn shame because I spent a pretty penny on it at the time. But I am going to do this, and I'll find something else to put it on. Maybe one of those little paper mache boxes from Hobby Lobby. That would more suit my budget these days. But it's very pretty, and I'm looking forward to doing that one at some point. Hey, stop that. You don't need to climb through the blinds. Sorry, bad kids. This is one from 2001 from Liberty Street Designs, and this is called Meow Cafe. I'm sorry for the glare, you guys. It's a kitty sitting on a little rug, and I love how they dyed the lace and put it across the top there. And looking at it, you know that mystery piece of pink linen that I found, I don't know, last month sometime, or I guess in January sometime. I keep forgetting it's March now. That may be what I had bought that dusty mauve for. You know, I've slept since I bought this in 2001 or thereabouts. But I was a crazy cat lady even back then, even if I wasn't breeding cats yet. So it spoke to me and I had to have it. So Meow Cafe. And then here's another kitty one. This is The Cat Did It by Stitchy Kitty. And I don't remember if I found a copyright date on this one. 2007. So this is one I apparently picked up, you know, during that point where I wasn't stitching, thinking that someday I would do it. And indeed, someday I will do it. But it's just cute. It's kitty stuff. And then I have a couple of mirrors still. Now, I stitched one of the fancy ladies way back when. I don't know. Early 90s maybe? I don't remember exactly. And then I stitched this one sometime late 90s as a birth sampler for a friend who was having a baby. And it was so cute. I decided I needed to keep it because I might want to stitch it again. And this is, I think it's called the Baby Boat from Mirabilia, Nor Corbett. Copyright 1995. And I did stitch it once, but sooner or later, I'm hoping that my son relents and at some point decides to give me more grandkids, and that might have to come out again. And then the only other mirror I kept was this one called Mother's Arms. And I have not stitched this one. Mostly because it's full coverage, and I'm intimidated by full coverage pieces. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The mauves and teals, love those colors. But I'm intimidated by the full coverage. I mean, most mirrors are big anyway, but oh boy. But maybe someday. And this one is also a copyright 1995. And then some lighter fare. I don't know if Fancy That is designing anymore. I don't know that I've seen any of their charts. But, you know, I haven't spent that much time looking around. These are a couple This first one is Folk Art Santa and Tree. And copyright on this one, 1994. Yeah, I've had this a while. I just think he's so cute. I love him. And he really would not take long to stitch. So he may become a Christmas project. We'll see. You know, I'm so distracted. I see, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that. I want to do them all. Like Christine says, stitch all the things. Well, I'm giving it the old college try. This is another Fancy That, and I just think she's too cute. She's so cute. Copyright 1996 on this one. She's called Be True, and it says Be True up at the top, and then the date over here. Again, been a while, but I think she is super duper cute. And someday I'm going to get her done. Yeah. This one, I've got some Mosey N Me's. And Mosey N Me was one of my favorite designers back in the 90s. And, yeah, as you can see why. This is the oldest one I've got. It is from 1994. It's called Stitch Faster. And it's got a little heart with some specialty stitches in it. And Frank and Judy Bialik actually I lived probably 2.5 hours from Katy, Texas, for most of my life, and that's where they were from. And I think they're also retired now, but they had super cute stuff. This is another Mosey N Me. This one's from 1997. And I like birds, love cardinals. And I just think that's super cute. And it says, "The laughter of God is heard in the song of a bird." And again, should not be a really long involved stitch, so I may have to give that one a whirl too. I'm not super duper into Halloween. I enjoy Halloween, but I'm not like Halloween crazy. But Hiddy here, Hiddy's a hoot. This is another Mosey N Me. This one is copyright 1997. And isn't she funny? I love the wart on her nose. It is too funny. And she's just bright and cheerful, and she's grinning. And at some point, Hiddy's going to have to be done. Then a bunny one. That's what I should be stitching right now, right? Spring Rabbit. This one is called, Spring Rabbit Banner. Also from Mosey N Me. And this one is from 1998. And he's really cute, too. And I like that. This was kind of, I think, Mosey N Me probably started putting some of their stuff on the colored linens around that time, mid-90s. Sorry, y'all. And I love the colored stuff. This is The House on Attic Street. This one's from 1999. So you can see I consistently kept buying their stuff. And I just think it's really cute. He's got lots of little specialty stitches across the house. And the little scene with the farmer waving there. Just really cute. And then last but not least, sorry, found some more shepherd's bush. Let me put them in the right stack. Last but not least from Mosey N Me, what's for dinner? And you know, I had to have it because it's a cat. I'm not good at charting stuff, but I may have to see if I can convert this cat into a Burman. If not, he's cute black and white. But he's just so cute. And this is the latest Mosey N Me I had. And it was from 2001. So, there's a little glimpse at some of my pattern stash. There's lots more old ones. We'll look at those another day. I really didn't have any haul this week. You know, I'm trying to be good and do the stitch from stash, but I have to confess that I've asked my LNS to get me a couple of things from Market. Yeah, may have fallen off the old wagon there. Fallen off and landed on my head. But anyway, the only thing I've gotten this week is Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, the spring issue of it. And I love that sheep. I'm going to have to learn how to do punch needle. I just think that the stuff for it is so cute. And I have not had time. So sorry. I've not had time to go through this. I've kind of flipped through it briefly, but I haven't had time to give it a really good look. But if it is like the other issue I've gotten from them, I'm going to really enjoy it. And this is a good quality magazine. I mean, it is heavy duty paper. It feels almost like a book, or almost cardstocky. And, you know, it's just nice to see folks not taking the easy way out, not cheaping it up. It's a great magazine. Subscribe. And then on Monday, I think. Last week, and I don't have her permission to share her last name, so Lori, who is she comments frequently on my videos, and on Instagram, her handle is Ogden Stitcher. But Lori contacted me and said, hey, can I get your address? I have something I'd like to send you. And it was right after little Stella had gone to heaven. And, you know, she made it sound like she was going to send me a sympathy card or something. And I said, yeah, sure. Here it is. And that's really what I expected, was a card. And she did send a card with a beautiful note inside. But there was something else in the envelope besides the card. Y'all, she sent me a shepherd's bush kit. It's got the linen and the floss. And you can tell she listens to my videos because she knows I love shepherd's bush. She knows I love sheep. I cried like a baby, y'all. I was so touched that anybody would go out of their way. And that's not cheap, you know. And it was way above and beyond, and I was very touched. Thank you, Lori. Thank you so much. It certainly wasn't expected, certainly wasn't anticipated, but it is very, very much appreciated. Thank you for your kindness. So, anyway, I'm going to do a few shout outs before we close it up here, because I'm at 32 minutes and it'll take me forever to upload this sucker. First thing is Farm Girl. Now, Farm Girl doesn't need any shout outs from me, Michelle. But I'm giving her a shout out just to say, I want to see more baby goats. Those goat triplets, if y'all didn't see her picture on Instagram of those 3 baby goats sitting on her couch, you are missing out. Go find it. It is so sweet. There's some of the Nubian goats that she raises with those long lop ears, and they are just too cute for words. Show us more. I need goat video, goat pictures, please. Anyway, I've really been enjoying the knitting videos that Caroline has been doing for Ginger Gerald and the other folks that are learning to knit along with him. Now, I have to stop and tell you that after I got divorced in the mid-90s, I lived with my best friend Monica for about a year while I was selling my house, getting on my feet, you know, getting my poop scraped together in one neat little spot. And Monica likes to knit. And I mean, she knits some really pretty things. She knitted me a sweater that was just to die for. But Monica tried, I mean, she really tried to teach me to knit. And I was hopeless. She tried and she tried and she tried. And I lived in a state of confusion trying to do it. And I finally said, this is not my craft. I can appreciate knitting. I can certainly appreciate the work that goes into it. You guys are already over my head. I mean, it wasn't pretty. But, so I'm enjoying watching the videos about the knitting, but I will not be taking up the knitting because that particular boat has left and circumvented the globe by now. You know, that ship has sailed and sank repeatedly in every deep, dark hole in the ocean you could find. But the videos are often. Caroline is a super teacher. If you have some interest in learning to knit, go look those up. She's Off the Grid Needle Arts, and she's a very good teacher. And had I the merest glimmer of hope of being able to successfully knit, I would be trying it. But again, that ship has sunk. I watched a new a new YouTuber, FlossTuber this week. Julie, Gulf Coast Stitcher. She's got, I think, 2 videos out now. She's very sweet, y'all. Go watch her. She does some beautiful stitching. I watched the second one this morning. She's got a really, really pretty finish of, Imaray? The Crow. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's fully finished. She did a great job with it. And then she has some other rescue needle art that she's showing off, and really neat stuff. Go give her a listen. I'll link her in the comments below. Donna Ray, and I've heard lots of people shout her out, and it's easy to see why. She's a light. I think she's Lynette from Homesteading on the Homefront. I think this is her friend. Her channel is Flannel Jammy's Farm. She's great. Give her a listen too. And then Tiffany with Tiffin Stitches. She's a Texas girl. We've messaged back and forth on YouTube a couple times, and she actually was born about 60 miles from where I lived for most of my life, and we talked about some places in common in Texas, and she's very sweet, and she's got neat stuff too. And I watched a lot more. I've watched a couple of her videos before, but I watched more of Andy with Nana's Needles over the last week, and she's a pleasure, y'all. All these folks are just, a pleasure to watch. Beautiful stitching, wonderful, warm folks. Go give them some love. They're awesome. And I think that that's all I have. And at 37 minutes, that should be all I have, right? So the last thing is project bag giveaway. This is the Peacock project bag that I made a couple weeks ago. I'm going to give it away to somebody when I get to 750 subscribers. It's lined with a complimentary Peacock fabric, and I promise to remove the cat hair before I send it to you. Like everything else in my house, it's fuzzy. But anyway, it's a pretty peacock bag. You can see the full peacock on the back. And what you need to do is be a subscriber, please. Comment on this or one of the other, I think it's videos, maybe 16, 17. Any of them since I introduced the bag and said this is the giveaway. If you comment on any one of those videos, when I get to 750, I will aggregate all of those. And what I want you to do, don't say giveaway because I'll delete your comment. But what I want you to do is say, tell me what your favorite bird is. That's innocuous enough, right? You must be 18. You can live anywhere in the world. I'll send it wherever. You only have to be 18 just so it's legit for you to give me your address. And like I said, be a subscriber and comment. Tell me your favorite bird. And when I get to 750, this will be coming to somebody. But that's all I got for today. I'm going to get this done before I hit 40 minutes, and I'm at 38:28. So I better say goodbye. Thanks, y'all, for watching. Thanks for coming back. I sure enjoy all your comments and thumbs up, and appreciate them. And this is one of the highlights of my week, getting to talk about stitching. So thank you all for sharing that with me. Let me know, what you want to share back. Bye, y'all. Y'all have a great week. I will see you probably on Sunday, maybe for a Stitch with Me, I hope, if I can con my husband into starting the camera for me. So I will see y'all then. In the meantime, have a great stitchy week. Much love to you. God bless. Bye, y'all.